presentation of the award ceremony. And now, the NBA champion, your Philadelphia 76ers. Your head coach is Nick Nurse. Brandon Watford. Juwan Beranger. Dominic Barlow. Justin Edwards.
Welcome, everyone. Here it is at long last. It's the start of the NBA regular season. I know everyone's just as excited as we are here on 2K Sports to get things underway. Here alongside Tim Legler and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson with Ali LaForce joining us courtside. And now the Washington Wizards starters. We've got Sarr, Bilal Coulibaly out there with Davis. Then there's Johnson, and it's Carrington in at the 1 spot. And for the 76ers, Maxey and Edgecombe man the backcourt. Then it's Joel Embiid. Then there's Edwards, and it's Barlow in at the 4. Tim, opening night, always a lot of fun for a broadcaster. But what's it like as a player?
Well, no matter how many years you have in the league, opening night creates more butterflies than any other night. You want to make that great first impression for sure, but you're also really excited that it starts to count.
And are you nervous right now?
A tap, Brian, a tap.
Davis looking it over. Pass to Carrington. Back to Sarr. And finished off by Sarr.
The Frenchman, s'il vous plaît. taking flight. You gotta like Sarr.
Down low. Here's Barlow. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. It's going to be on Anthony Davis.
Yeah, you never want to let shots at the rim go uncontested.
Philadelphia shooting their first free throws of the evening. And he can't get the first one. He hits the second from the line. And Tim, you played your longest stretch with this Washington franchise. How hungry are these fans for sustained success?
Yeah, there's been some lean years, and unfortunately only one banner. Going back to 1978, they are committed to a rebuild in hopes of better times ahead.
Uses the glass on the layup.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
That is a quality look. You can't do it much better than that.
Now here's Maxey. Fires the 3. Rebound collected by Anthony Davis.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Ooh, took him no time at all to get that one.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Here's Maxey. Rebound Washington. And they're dialed in offensively.
Sure are. Staying in attack mode and at the same time playing under control.
Here's Carrington. Can't hit the free throw line jumper.
The defense really didn't do enough to alter that shot. It's simply a miss.
And it's good. 2 points.
And look at Embiid getting down the floor. That is impressive.
Outside Carrington. Embiid against Sarr. And it's blocked by Embiid. Here's Edgecombe, covered by Johnson.
Throws it down emphatically.
He's got serious hop, right? You add that to his ability to penetrate, that's 2 easy points. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Nick Nurse. We spoke about the challenge of facing Anthony Davis. Coach commented, there aren't a lot of guys like AD, bigs who can control both ends of the paint. We have to be aware of him at all times, or he's going to take over the game. No doubt Davis will be a factor tonight. Brian, back to you.
Thanks for that, Allie. Yakachonis has checked in for Edwards. And finished off by Sarr.
And the long arms of Sarr on full display. You gotta keep this kid off the offensive glass.
Maxey with it, and Davis picks him up defensively. The shot by Yakachonis, no good. Washington leading by 4. All right, Tim, let's focus on Bilal Coulibaly. 6'8", 7'2" wingspan. My goodness.
Man, tremendous tools for a wing defender, B.A. He was a late bloomer, and he's still working on his skill level, but if that comes along, watch out.
Rebounded by Johnson. And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for the Washington Wizards. Let's go with a 3. Sends it home from three-point land. Johnson's got 5 now.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
They set the pick. And another miss by Philadelphia. The Wizards have gone 6 of 9 and finding their rhythm now. And finished off by Sarr.
So far, they're owning both ends of the floor. We'll see if they can keep this going.
Well, the score reflects it. They've just been the better team all the way around.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call timeout here. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. Beasley's checked in for Philadelphia. All right, let's take a quick pause and look at the best shooting teams from last season. Fourth, the Sixers.
They were so consistent with their shooting. Maybe not lights out, but they played smart and didn't let good looks go to waste.
Got a hand on it.
And as Sarr gets older, he'll learn how to use his length even more.
Drops in the 3.
That's the right pass to make. Beautiful job.
Wizards leading by 8. Got a piece of it. Here's Yakachonis. He drains that one after 2 misses. Now 1 for 3.
He's a go-to guy for them because he's that consistent. time and time again, he delivers.
Johnson passes to Sarr and finished off by Sarr.
Oh, nice one-handed jam there, B.A.
Hey, little exclamation point. Here's Maxey. Rebound, Washington.
It's been an ugly quarter for him. Trying to shoot his way out of it. Might be time to work on the playmaking skills.
Riley's shot is off. Philadelphia has gone 1 for 5 from three-point range. A cold start. Here's the three. The rebound by Riley.
So far, rebounding has been a focal point for them.
From deep, Johnson buries it from three. Johnson's got 8.
And they've settled in quickly today. A nice flowing rhythm to their offense.
And Maxey, here we go. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. That one on Sarr.
That is just athleticism, working against that kind of length.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes.
At the line for Philadelphia, Tyrese Maxey.
8 seconds left now in the first quarter. Here's Boozer, and down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
They played with fantastic energy from the opening tip.
Yeah, they've just been the better team. They've been more aggressive, which is why they hold a double-digit lead.
And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Wizards out in front, up 10. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And what do you think about how the Wizards are doing here?
You can really see the strategy coming in. Get the ball into the painted area.
And that's where their advantage is. Throw the ball inside, make it difficult for the defense to make some decisions.
Yakachonis out there with Edgecombe. Then there's Jabari Walker. Then it's Ben Simmons. And it's Beasley in at the 3. That's the group for Philadelphia to kick off the second quarter. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Thank you, guys. The Wizards are letting their young guys learn on the fly. Guard Bub Carrington said the whole organization communicates to us often. We drafted you guys for a reason, they say. Don't be scared to make a mistake. Play your game, use the things that got you here, and see if it sticks. Guys?
Learning on the job. All right, Allie, thanks a lot. Size and shooting touch, always in demand, legs, and 2 things that Keyshawn George possesses.
Yeah, he's an interesting combination because he grew up playing point guard, but hit a growth spurt later on. So he's got the vision and ball handling skills of a point, but now he's adding that scoring prowess of an off guard.
A player to watch for sure.
No doubt.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Edwards is checked in. Here's Edgecombe. George defending. And Edgecombe gets it to go.
They didn't do themselves any favors with their shooting in the first quarter, but they're starting to pick it up now.
Pass to George. Koulibaly on the wing. Here's Boozer from behind the arc. The shot, no good. Outside Simmons. Here's Yakachonis, covered by Carrington. Outside Edwards, stolen by Koulibaly. Here's Davis. AD doing what he does.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of this from Davis, playing above the rim.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call a timeout here. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Embiid, he's checked in for Simmons. Sarr's checked in for Washington. Here's the group of players who had the most steals in the league last season. VJ Edgecombe, number 1. Tyrese Maxey, 3rd.
These two struck fear into their opponents last year. Able to force so many steals, they're a problem for opposing offenses.
Well, the defense has to push Embiid farther away from the rim. You can't make the game this easy for him.
Here's Carrington. Drops in the layup for 2. Carrington's got 5 points.
And force-feeding the ball inside. I mean, no reason to go away from what's working.
Here's Edgecombe. It's rebounded by Washington. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of the 76ers this year. Pass to Carrington. And here's Coulibaly. Tim, you graduated with an MBA from an elite business school. How has that impacted how you look at the NBA?
Well, it certainly gives you a look at how the business side of things are impacted in the NBA and a real grasp of the numbers. And man, oh man, are those numbers big at this level.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Washington leading by 17. George with it. Beasley covers. Here's Davis. Misses off the right iron. Philadelphia has gone 1 of 2 from deep in the second quarter. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. 6 on the shot clock. There's the block. Washington moving the ball around. Shot's good by Carrington. 7 points in the game. All right, well, a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Wizards.
Yeah, I love the energy and aggressiveness I've seen from them on defense. They're really getting after it with all these blocks.
And they're also focusing on their break, looking for any chance they can to push the pace and get out in transition.
Now here's Davis. Outside Carrington. Good efficiency. He's drained 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I love that. He comes off the pick and takes it right to the hole.
Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
The shot by Iaquinta's no good.
Well, I think at this point the whole team is pressing, but he certainly looks frustrated.
6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Back to Coulibaly. And that one is stuffed right through.
Well, part of the game plan was to neutralize the crowd. And guess what? Mission accomplished.
There is no doubt about it. They've done a great job minimizing all of the external factors.
They swipe it. So as we conclude the first half, a fairly one-sided game. Wizards out in front, delivering the blowout. Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
I'm alongside Coach Nick Nurse, and I know you're not too happy with the execution at the defensive end. What needs to be cleaned up?
Yeah, we're making some mistakes on some of the switches. We're making some mistakes on some of the weak side. And then when we did get them to miss a couple, they took.
Thanks very much, Allie. And folks, we'll be right back to start the second half of this game.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. An uphill battle so far for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Number one goal in the offseason, get yourself some rim protectors. The guys you have cannot do it.
And now, not a bad time to take a look at the schedule ahead. Thanks for tuning in.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. It's been quite a game for Carlton Carrington.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Well, there is nothing better than watching scorers get their points within the flow of the offense.
Checking out the group for Brian Keefe to start the second half. We've got Carlton Carrington, Alexander Sarr out there with Anthony Davis. Then there's Johnson, and it's Coulibaly in at the small forward position. Well, Grant, when it comes to exciting young guards who can really fill it up, Trey Johnson's name has to come to mind.
Yeah, no question about it, B.A. This kid can score in a variety of ways, and his confidence is what makes him so dangerous in this department.
Here's Carrington, following the score by Philadelphia. Sarr misses. Here's Maxey. And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
Personal foul.
How about the motor of Tyrese Maxey, Tim? He just does not quit ever.
He's one of those guys who tracks the most miles run during games. Maxey probably wears out his shoes faster than anyone. Sharp turns, hard cuts. He's always on the move.
Sarr misses. And the 76ers shooting only 36% so far in this game. Edwards finds Embiid. To the inside. Perfect pass to set up the lay-in. 6 points for Joel Embiid.
Well, listen, if Embiid gets the ball that close to the rim, it is over. You have to deny position.
For your Philadelphia 76ers ENT.
Washington leading by 20. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, Anthony Davis talked about what motivates him. He said championships, the things I do in the community, being a good teammate, playing hard. All that stuff matters the most to me. Don't get me wrong, money is amazing, but my legacy will win that battle every time. Guys, back to you.
Priority straight. All right, Allie. Thanks a lot.
First personal foul.
Washington's gone 5 of 10 from beyond the three-point line in this game. Outside Johnson, pass to Davis. Coulibaly on the wing. Back to Davis. Now here's Coulibaly. Clock at 6. Three-pointer off the mark.
Well, it certainly hasn't been a smooth start after the break. Just 1 for 5 here to start the third.
Maxey passes to Barlow. They set the pick, releases, and it's Maxey missing.
It's clear he's totally out of sync. The team needs to rethink its strategy around what to do with him.
Davis can't hit. 76ers trail by 20. And Grant, when talking about certain players, we hear expressions like, he does the little things, or he does the dirty work. What does all that mean exactly?
You know, it's about what doesn't show up in the box score. Setting good screens, winning those 50-50 balls, hustling back on defense. Often, it's just as important as putting up those points.
Yakachonis is checked in for Philadelphia. And a change for the Wizards. George, he's checked in for Davis. First free throw is good. So he makes 1 of 2, and the second one misses. And the basket by Embiid.
We've seen that more than once today. An effortless basket inside.
Pass to Sarr. Johnson on the wing to snap the cold streak. Washington again can't hit.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it. Incredible. It sometimes falls to the point guard to be the offensive catalyst.
Seems like he always knows when his squad needs a lift.
It was an aggressive move that could change momentum.
And it's Washington with the ball. The Sixers getting their last shot to go. Here's Coulibaly. Misses the 3.
And even though he couldn't send the shot back at him, he certainly altered it.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that miss.
Now here's Maxey. 5 points in the game. Inside, Embiid gets the advantage.
Just so successful getting the ball inside and finding those great looks.
Outside Johnson. Back to Carrington. The kick out to Johnson. Washington again can't hit. Now Philadelphia with it. It's been 13 unanswered for him. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
The big-time throwdown.
Check him out. Keeps the grip on that rim after the finish. A little extra emphasis. And the jam by George.
Oh, not the defensive effort they need to cut into the lead.
Boy, good call. You have to at least try to protect the rim.
Yeah, I mean, when you're fighting back, you cannot give up plays like that.
They're doing the job on both ends, getting stops and attacking offensively.
And their all-around play has been the key to chipping away at this deficit.
Fires it. And again, it's Washington.
Well, this team relies on his scoring, and no shocker, he's done his part.
Embiid passes to Maxey. A shot from the mid-range. Stolen by Sarr. Count that one. He's now 5 for 8.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Yeah, he can taste a win right now. He's just trying to close it out.
Pass to Barlow. To the paint. And no good. And so it's the Washington Wizards up 14 as we wrap up the quarter. They hold a real solid lead right now. Love their approach tonight. Back to the game. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Well, coaches love unselfishness, and this is exactly what they're referring to.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. Malik Beasley is out there with Edwards. Then there's Yakachonis. Then it's Ben Simmons. And it's Embiid in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Now off the inbound. Oh, and there's a one-hand jam.
Incredible. It sometimes falls to the point guard to be the offensive catalyst.
Seems like he always knows when his squad needs a lift.
It was an aggressive move that could change momentum. And they're winning this game despite his difficulties at the offensive end.
Pass to Yakachonis. Back to Embiid. And Embiid fires it home.
Well, if Embiid gets rolling like this, what are you going to do? There's no way to stop him with all of that power.
Right wing. Here's Boozer. Cash money from 16 feet away. And the Wizards lead by 12.
And he's going to nail these if you give him the space. That's just soft D.
Well, if you're going to give him that shot, he will take it any time.
And Washington making a change here. Sarr's checked in. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
I had a chance to find out what Nick Nurse was discussing with his players. They took a laid-back approach to the huddle, telling the team everyone thinks this game is over, so just go out there and let it rip. Let's see what we can do. And I think the players love that message.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie. And Edwards slams it in.
Really unselfish play by Embiid, keeping others involved.
Here's Whitmore. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. That's on Joel Embiid. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Wizards.
Well, you love their unselfish play. Keeping that ball moving, good shot to great. That's winning basketball.
And I also really like the pace they've played with in this one, specifically how high tempo it's been, clearly working to their advantage so far.
Coulibaly, he's checked in for Washington. Pass to Johnson. Davis from long range. Rebound by the 76ers. And if they're going to make a move, this is a good time to start.
And there's still plenty of time, but they definitely don't want to let this game get too far out of hand.
Well, he's only 6'2", but he can really get up. Maxey with a nasty throwdown.
How about that elevated look on the AT&T Connected Cam? Now Coulibaly. Davis with a screen on Edwards. Embiid there for the rebound.
You really need to take advantage of those looks because the defense won't give you many of them.
And Grant, many of the newer rules have helped unlock offenses. Any need to help out the defense?
You know, I think the rules are fine, B.A. It's just about allowing defenders to do their job and limiting the cheap foul calls so they can stay on the floor.
Johnson The floater cleared away by Edwards. 76ers trail by 8. Maxey. Oh, the feathery touch. Dropped it right over the rim.
By maximizing their potential on every scoring opportunity, they've somehow, some way made this a thrilling finale.
Now Coulibaly from downtown. Oh, it's off.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
If he can just make a couple of buckets, though, this can all be put in his rearview mirror.
Now Davis, the 11-footer. Ooh, the shot misses. Maxey with it. Now Sarr defending. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by now. Book it! It goes!
And they're on a big run to make this game interesting. Can't let up now.
Well, they've closed the gap, and now they're trying to get this to a one-possession game.
And we've got a timeout from Brian Keefe. There is a lot on the line, and he is determined to make sure everyone's on the same page. That's tipped. It's stolen by Maxey.
And even from where we're sitting, you could clearly tell it was a foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
He gets the first, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. He's off on the free throw, unable to get the second one to drop.
And by missing that free throw, now a 3 could even the score. Not ideal.
The defense doing just enough there to affect that shot.
Here's Embiid, stolen by Davis. And it's Washington on the break. Count it!
Ooh, important points from Sarr. And just great recognition of the moment. Don't see that in a lot of young players. Wow.
Maxey fires. Ooh, the 3 doesn't go. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Second personal foul. Second team foul.
Outside Carrington. Now Coulibaly jacks up a 3. The 3 is in.
Really feels like they're in control. They've got a big lead with time dwindling.
And this is where you really want to be mindful. No turnovers, no sloppy play.
9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Screen by Embiid. Maxey, the triple drop.
Well, you gotta love all that confidence. Maxey with the biggest bucket of the night.
And they go to the intentional foul.
First personal foul. Third
He drops the first one, and that increases the lead to 6.
for Washington, Johnson.
And he hits both free throws here, and it's a 7-point game.
That's how you protect a lead. Build it out with clutch free throws.
And the 76ers call time here. They're behind by 7. All right, guys, what's your take?
Too little, too late. Making a change won't save them now.
Well, you're going to have to play this out. Take pride in every possession because they are critical at this point.
For the Wizards, Carrington. Taking
Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one.
And they have to know that any hope of a comeback is gone.
Yeah, I think it's time to wave the white flag.
It's good from beyond the arc.
Oh, nice play by Embiid. Not just holding it, moving the ball.
Third personal foul.
So the first one drops, and that increases the lead to 6.
For the Wizards, Carrington.
And a tough break as his second attempt is no good at the line. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Davis. Philadelphia calls timeout. 12 seconds left to play in the fourth. Any speculation on what we're going to see coming out of this timeout?
The game's not quite done yet, but they need points right away.
And it has to be a quick hitter. There is no time to waste.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Third personal foul. Team is already.
Ooh, he doesn't hit the first. That was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. And the second of 2 is good. And that makes it a 7-point lead. So we see the Wizards get the win here. They played the villain tonight, and they played it well.
Yes, they did. And, you know, you have two choices. You can either succumb to the hostility in this arena, or you can feed off of it and use it as motivation. They did the latter.
That concludes the first game of the NBA season. With Tim Legler, Allie LaForce, and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson. As always, we appreciate you tuning